Now I'd like to talk about vegetarian, vegan, and plant-based diets. The Healing Essence Total Life Cleanse, if you haven't already noticed, is not necessarily 100% vegan or vegetarian diet, because I have found that people come to this from all different walks of life. So for me to say someone has to be 100% plant-based may be really difficult for somebody. I want everybody to make really positive improvements in their health from wherever they're at. Having said that, this is a very important section because I do feel that it's truly possible and most beneficial to eat a vegetarian or vegan plant-based diet. And as long as we're moving in that direction, we're taking some very positive steps. So I'd just like to cover some of the points around that. There are health-related factors. There are environmental factors, economic factors, ethical factors, and yes, philosophical and spiritual factors. The health-related factors are such that vegetarian diets have been shown to reduce the risk of obesity, heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, colorectal cancer, lung cancer, kidney disease, and osteoporosis. Reduced pesticides and toxins and heavy metals are found in people who eat plant-based vegetarian diets. Less breast cancer and DDT is found in breast milk of women who are eating more of a plant-based vegetarian diet. Lower external hormones, antibiotics, and toxins are also found in vegetarian vegan food as well as in the breast milk of women. And another point we can talk about that I go into great detail in my book is the animal and human physiology. There's many aspects of human and animal physiology that indicate that human beings are really designed physiologically to be plant-based eaters as opposed to carnivores. There are a lot of environmental factors that are very important. Now remember, health is not just about our physical body, it's about our planet. If our planet's not healthy, it's definitely going to have its impact on us eventually. There's a huge amount of topsoil erosion. 4 million acres of cropland are lost yearly. 85% of this is due to livestock raising. These are for animal raising. There's loss of forests. 65% of forests in the United States is now lost. Over 50% of the water in the United States is used for livestock. This is for animals. Water and air contamination is there due to the waste. There's a ton of waste product that gets into the water system, and the products that get into the air have a very negative effect on the ozone layer, actually. The ozone depletion is due to the methane, and that's from the excrement and literally the farting of all the animals that we're holding. Creates an extremely high amounts of methane that causes a really negative impact on the air on our planet. There's a significant amount of tropical rainforest depletion, which is really significant because the rainforest is what creates the most amount of oxygen on planet Earth. And there's so many different plants and medicinal substances that are yet to be found in the rainforest. There's a greenhouse gas and acid rain production due to the animal industry, and it's the most environmentally detrimental industry on the planet. A lot of people are really interested in helping the planet, environmental issues, unless we look really honestly at the environmental factors of the animal meat industry, we're not really doing an honest job at handling it. Economic. 90% of U.S. agricultural resources go to feeding animals for meat consumption. There's a lot of hungry people on the planet, and we're feeding these animals a tremendous amount of our resources. It takes 78 calories of fossil fuels to make 1 calorie of beef protein. It takes 2 fossil fuel calories to make 1 calorie of soy protein. Now there's a lot of other beans too that will do really well with just those 2 fossils. 1 pound of beef uses over 5,000 pounds of water. Meat industry is also subsidized by the taxpayers. which doesn't really seem fair. Why should we support the animal industry just because of our imbalanced taste for eating meat? Now we can touch on some of the ethical factors. Now, when I talk about this, I'm not interested in making people feel guilty or ashamed for eating meat. I used to eat meat. I have plenty of friends who still eat meat. But my point is I truly believe that we need to move toward a plant-based environment for this planet to survive and also for us to regain our health. We all have habits, and some of these habits take a while to change, but as long as we're moving in the right direction, it's a really good thing. Having said that, slaughterhouses equal, or animals in slaughterhouses, for the people running them, equal money. That's what it's all about. So they see a cow or a pig or a sheep or a goat or whatever it is as a unit of money. That's how they're seen. They're not seen as living creatures with a mind and feelings and babies and all that kind of stuff. So there's a big disconnect between what's really happening. 6 billion plus animals are slaughtered yearly in the United States. Overcrowding, mutilation, debeaking, tremendous amounts of disease. There's many people who say practically every chicken has some form of disease or cancer. Veal, one of the worst things. These animals are chained, immobilized, and starved so that we can have their soft flesh. The shocking and stunning that they do for the animals before slaughtering them are often not effective. So the animal literally feels everything that happens. Now, as far as eggs go, in the big farm situations, the male chicks are suffocated and get garbage bags or thrown into a truck or just thrown into a pit to die because they're not utilized. They can't make eggs, so they're just thrown away. So this is what's happening in the animal industry. There's something really off about it. And of course, there's forced reproduction, which makes the animals basically baby makers for their entire short lives. Philosophical and spiritual factors. We will touch on this again later, but in the Vedic culture from India, they describe 4 different ages of time. The Golden Age, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. And it's said that we are in what's called the Iron Age. The Iron Age is the age of quarrel and anxiety. Many, many spiritual teachers say that one of the reasons why everyone is in anxiety is because we're unconsciously impacted by the unbelievable amounts of animals that are being killed every single day. Einstein also felt that the only way that ultimately we can have peace on this planet is if we go toward a plant-based diet. So animals are not just objects. Just like in the business of animal industry, that cow is seen as a financial object. But the truth is, if something responds to love, they're not just an object. And every animal responds to love. They just really do. If you ever spend time with a cow or a pig or a baby cow or a goat, they all respond to love. So how is it that they can just be an object? There's a principle that's spoken of in the yoga system called ahimsa. And ahimsa means to not harm something, or nonviolence, and is considered to be the essence of all religion or spirituality. So the foundation of religion or spirituality is to do whatever you do, but try to do it with the least harm possible. Now, the paradox is, it's also said that in this world, every living entity has to survive off of another living entity. But the principle is to cause the least suffering possible. So to eat a piece of broccoli causes clearly less suffering than it does to eat the leg of a cow or the leg of a chicken. It's just a different relative amount of suffering. So the ahimsa principle is to do your best. So if you're eating a lot of meat right now, then the ahimsa principle for you, if you're not quite ready to let go of it, would be to eat less, or just really tune into what is your body needing right now as you adjust. What I've found is that as people cut back, they find that they need less and less and less meat. As their health improves, as the inflammation decreases in their body, they need less and less as they take better care of themselves. There's another principle called sattvic consciousness. Sattvic consciousness means harmony or balance or goodness. That's another element. As we begin to eat foods that are more balanced in harmony, that have been taken with less suffering, it actually has a positive impact on our nervous system and our consciousness. Now, some people say, well, the Bible says that we have dominion over the animals, and that there's no soul in an animal. My response to that is, and many of my teachers, is that if something responds to love, that means there must be a soul. There must be consciousness. Dominion also does not mean, therefore I have control, therefore I have the right to kill and eat. Dominion means you have responsibility to take care of. We have dominion over our children. It doesn't mean we can harm them. Dominion over animals means that we can utilize them perhaps for farming, for in the ancient cultures, for milking, for things like that, but as long as we're not causing harm. There's a number of quotes from various traditions. Some good quotes. Here's a few. The eating of meat extinguishes the seed of great compassion. As long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. This is Pythagoras. And right from the Bible itself, behold, I have given every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the yielding seed, tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food. That's from the Bible.